So Monstrous Gains from England asks, this is one of our listener questions. He asks, have you ever bought a Transformer that you were excited about, but after messing with it, you had some regrets? I'll let you go first, Wendell, if you have
Oh,
something.
really? I think maybe it's like regrets after the fact,
Well,
like
yeah,
you know,
after, like excite.
messing
I guess
around
what he
with it.
means is like you were excited to get it, and then when you got it and you messed with it, you're like, oh man.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I don't know. For me, like I guess for a lot of the stuff I own, I've always been excited to get it, and then I enjoyed it for what it was. But I think specifically right now, I'm like, you know what? I'm not feeling this character anymore, this particular toy. It's probably Generation Sea Spray, the Voyager.
Mm,
You know, getting that, and I was like, oh, it's so cool. Like, wow, he's so huge, and look at all the detail here, da da da. And like just thinking about it now, when I think about it and what he looks like, and I'm just like, eh. You know, we got that really nice one that came out recently.
yeah, well, that happens. I
Um,
think that Generations in general is kind of guilty of that, where there was a lot of times figures would come out and people would be excited about that release, and then
mhm.
almost instantly something comes out afterwards. Like almost every single one of those uh, Datsun brothers that were the 350Zs in
Yeah,
Generations.
and I think that will be there too.
Yeah, that well,
I
that's
think
I
I
think
I think
that
I would add that
your
as well.
problem is something that a majority of people have been having a problem with Generations and classics in general.
But it's weird because I don't like I like all the other generations cars, but then again, all those other full cast of the Autobots that came out later
Mm-hmm.
when the engineering got better.
Got better, yeah.
I still like Generations Rodimus. Like
Oh yeah,
even
well,
though he's not perfect, I still dig him. I still like him. I still like, oh, this guy's fun
Him
to
and
mess around with. And
Starscream were the first two engineered figures of that line, and it shows that those
mhm.
two were kind of like those were like home runs, and really like even that the Starscream Generations Classic, it literally is. It doesn't get much better than that. You know, like
Yeah,
it really is perfection in a bottle. And at this point, all you're just doing is redoing different designs. You know,
yeah.
instead. So I mean, I agree with you there, though, on that. Yeah. Any others
Because
that you could think of?
um, off the top of my head, no, I think those two were definitely like, you know what, I could probably do without them, and I wouldn't miss them that hard. You know?
Me, as a completist, you hit it a lot. there, there's a lot of stuff that I bought that I wasn't excited about, but when I opened it, I was like, oh man, this sucks. Because as a completist, I got it anyways.
Mhm.
But I know for a fact one good example of a figure that I was super hyped to get, and when I got it, I was kind of disappointed. Was and this goes way back. We're talking Transmetal 2 Cheetor.
Mm.
Really way because Transmetal 2 Cheetor, the first time I saw that character with my eyes was the episode Feral Scream Part 2, and I got really excited. I was like, "Oh my god, he's such a cool character. He's going to be awesome." And then the early photos online, I remember it was Dave Van Domlin's website, which one of the first Transformer websites back in the day. He had some early photos from I think it was Toy Fair of the the Spark gimmick that was going to work with the Transmetal twos and everything, where they're going to have the Spark crystal, and I was really excited about this Cheetor toy. I really was. I was like, oh my god, like he's amazing in the show. The toy's going to be amazing because I mean up to that point, that first Cheetor toy was amazing. I loved it.
Mhm.
The second Cheetor toy, the Transmetal 2, was amazing. I loved it. So I figured, oh, this third one's going to be another home run. It's going to be amazing. And when I got it, I was kind of disappointed. I was kind of
Yeah.
disappointed the way that the transformation was done, how he was kind of hollow. I kind of was like I was like 50-50 on like oh I'm not really a big fan of like how the tail is like a removable accessory that really doesn't do anything, but
Mhm.
it also kind of gets in the way when it's in robot mode. I wasn't a fan of the beast mode at all because it was kind of a weird way. The weird way it was like It was done in that hunchback kind of design. It's a
And then he just
it's
stands,
a weird toy
and then
overall.
the gun doesn't really hold in his
Yeah,
hand.
it doesn't really hold in its hand. Like it's cool that he has like an open hand concept with articulated thumbs, but then the final product isn't really that great as a result of it. It's a really weird. And again, when you look at other Transmetal 2s, there's some that are really good. That was one that I was so excited about, so excited about. And when I got it, I was just like, wow, this is not what I was hoping it would be. And it almost falls into the same problem that I had with when I went into Beast Machines. Same thing.
Oh God.
Super excited about Cheetor. Got that first Voyager Cheetor toy, and it was, without swearing, it was terrible. It was
Yeah.
like I was.
Oh, I got one. I got another one.
What's up?
What was it? I think it's Red Alert from
Armada?
Armada.
Yeah.
Because I liked the aesthetic that he had with his face, the way they kind of made him look kind of
Yeah, it looked like
RoboCop-ish.
RoboCop. Yeah.
And then I liked how the SUV chunkiness of him, but then turning him into the robot mode. The legs were nice, but they're very svelte. But the backpack on him was
He was
unruly.
something that like clearly skipped leg day.
Yeah.
Like to stand up, and he's extremely top heavy. Add it with the electronics that are put into him, that also makes it a little more top heavy. Yeah, he had a lot of problems. A lot of Armada toys. I always kind of was like a little critical on some of them because of but at the end of the day, I wasn't like going into them like super excited. I was just more.
I kind of was. I was like, oh, I can't wait to see what they do after RID.
Well,
That was my head.
RID, I was excited about every toy, and they didn't
think
disappoint. So
I think that was my headspace.
yeah,
But a happy ending happened with Red Alert. He got him and I think Starscream got a nice home with one of my friend's little sons, and I made sure like, hey, don't lose this little guy. Don't lose the little minicon. That's his best friend. You can't lose him. Can you promise me that? And he nodded his head, and I was like, all right, awesome. So you got to pass it down to the next generation, and he definitely liked it. And I remember, I think maybe a few years later, I was at their place, and he still had it.
awesome.
So
Because
yeah,
and that's why, like, to me, I find like out of everything I have, I like that. I still look back at that Cheetor because there's been a lot of toys. I like when that Rodimus you're referring to, the Classics Rodimus from
hmm
2006, when that was coming out, I was super excited about it. But in the end, it was a good toy, so I wasn't disappointed. I mean, I look at every individual series. I look at Armada. There wasn't anything I wasn't going to be too not surprised when I got it. Same thing with Energon. Cybertron, I was excited about certain figures, but in the end, they more or less filled my needs. When Animated came out, when that Rodimus, I really wanted that Rodimus, and when I got it, I mean, it's one of the best Rodimus toys ever made. So
right.
again, it always scratched that itch. That Cheetor was such a letdown, such a letdown, and it's such a shame because like he was so cool in season three. Like he hit puberty,
Yeah,
and I
exactly.
was just like I was hoping that toy would.
I was like, geez, another person that likes Black Arachnia? My goodness.
Yeah, well, again, like to me, that's probably my biggest disappointment. Like, and again, like out of the thousands of Transformer toys I have and all the different stuff that I bought when it was brand new, that was the one that I think just made my heart sink because and I still even remember like where I bought it. I bought it in the States when we took a trip to Plattsburgh, and it was just
Okay.
it was like to get it, and oh my god! And then I open it, and I'm just like, wow, it's really not as good as the other two.
I think Armada Starscream as well, because I was like, oh, the sword's gonna be a sword, and it's like, oh no, it's not a
It's a
sword.
baton.
But I think the newer version of it, the redone,
The Generations
uh,
one's a lot better,
the
yeah.
Generations one, and then the retooling to J Axis.
G-Axis
What?
one is way better, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
So I thought that was
G-Axis one
pretty
is
cool.
is I love that figure. And
And I'll give a little love to Red Alert. I do like his pizza thrower gimmick with the Nerf gun stuff. I do dig that. Like that I would keep. Of all the gimmicks that he had, I would definitely keep that.
and speaking of
You don't have to
pizza
buy a.
thrower gimmicks, I mean,
Mhm.
in the same time, a figure that also came out around the same time in the same wave, which was something I was excited about, that also really made me happy was I was excited about that depth charge figure from season
Hmm.
3. And when
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got that for Christmas, and when I got that, I was wow. That thing was I loved it. It's like
It was the model. It felt like it was the model
it was
of
the show model.
the character. Yeah, the
Yeah,
show
it
model
literally
that you
was the
got.
show model. It's just it's such a shame because a lot of those season 3 designs were just great from Optimal Optimus to
Tiger Hawk.
Tiger Hawk, Rampage, a lot of those, even going to like the smaller stuff when you go to like even Transmetal 2 Dinobot, they all were pretty good. That Cheetor, it's so weird that that was the flagship character. That was their Bumblebee of that era, who
Hmm.
was like, a hard toy to get. He was selling so well. And somehow I personally feel, maybe other people feel otherwise, but I feel they really dropped the ball with that one. So, I mean, that's all I could really think of. Is there any others you want to add?
No, I think
So thanks, Monstrous Game.